Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. We're going to go ahead and continue our discussion about leadership. Today I do have a couple questions for Pastor Ken. What I'd like to talk about today is developing other leaders that are around us. It seems as though that's always an ongoing endeavor, no matter what stage of leadership you're in. I think Jesus said to go into the world and make disciples of all nations. Right. And so it's something we're commanded to do. But my question to you is, first of all, how do you know who to mentor? Because there's always multiple people at our reach, and multiple people in our sphere of influence. And so how do you go about deciding who to really give that personal time to in terms of mentoring?
I think that's a very good question. First and foremost, I think that in the whole mentoring concept, when you're a leader and you're in a position of influence, I think you mentor people in a very passive way. And by that I mean that I think people glean from you things that you share about your life and your experiences. And I think by observation, sometimes if they see you enough consistently, they're learning things as they see you and as they hear you. So there's that dynamic. But when it's more purposeful and intentional, I think you mentor people who you kind of observe around you, who want to learn. I think one of the greatest things that a person who wants to train somebody, mentor them, bring them up, can see in someone else is that desire that they possess to learn and to grow and to know more. So I think you have to look for that first, and I think you look for people who are being faithful, and I think you look for people who sometimes even have similar gifting and similar areas of ministry focus and passion, and that's also helpful in terms of mentoring. And then I think mentoring becomes even more laser focused when in fact you are trying to mentor someone to become your replacement at some point in time, like a Moses and a Joshua, like a Paul and a Timothy. You know, Paul wrote letters in the New Testament to his sons. He didn't write letters to everybody. He wrote letters to those who were going to take over, quote unquote, what he was doing as a leader when he was going to be martyred. So I think when you're looking for your replacement or you're training somebody to replace you, mentoring becomes more specific, more focused, and more intentional. Other than that, you're helping people grow in certain areas based on some of the other things I mentioned.
Got it. That's very good insight. Thank you. So as you then learn how to choose who to mentor, then how does that relationship develop? Is it a formal thing where you actually go up to someone and say, hey, I'd like to mentor you? Or is it happen by relationship, or is it a little bit of both? Or maybe you can just expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think mentoring, Garrett, happens best when it's probably more natural and when it's out of relationship. I've had, you know, over the time, and I'm kind of reversing the question just a bit, but I've had people come up to me and say, oh, I want you to mentor me. You know, can you mentor me? And, you know, in some cases I've, you know, endeavored to try to help people when and where I can. But the most effective that I have found is when I initiate that. You know, Elijah went to Elisha and he threw his mantle on him. Jesus went up to the disciples and he said, hey, you guys come follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. And so I think it's more natural when the mentor, you know, is developing relationship or has a relationship with the mentee, whether that is known at the moment but becomes known later on. I think that's the more natural dynamic. I'm not going to say it cannot happen the other way, but I will say that I think it's more natural when it's relational.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good insight for today's video. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to continue to bring as many topics as we can to you on the subject of leadership and developing those around us. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.